Alright, hey, what up, you guys? It's me, your boy, TheeBigDTV, aka, Davo, aka David. Sorry I'm saying, so much up in here. Well, today I have a quick little story time with Davo, aka Big D. I forget my name. I'm over here like, I don't know, someone who forgets their name. Anyways, so this story is a story that happened recently. Now, excuse me, I'm going to click my computer. I want to see what date it was. So this story happened on January 20th, 2015. So it just happened about a week ago. Not even about a week ago. Anyways, there I go with my anyways. What happened is, on that date, we had finals. This was one of the last days of finals, second to last finals. Now, if you guys don't know what finals are, what a final basically is that throughout the whole entire school semester, which is like half the year, you work, you do hard, and you get your grade. But just that's your grade. It's not the very last, like, the end-all be-all. There's a final at the end, and your final is worth 20% of your ultimate semester grade. So you could get hundreds all the way through, and you don't do that final, and you can only get an 80% on that semester. So this finals are kind of important. Not the most important, excuse me with that click, but it's kind of important. So we take our finals, and that day was my day when I had lunch as my last period final, so I gotta go. But my friend, his name is Zed, he's got a YouTube channel. I'll maybe link him in the description, just joking. I'll put it down there, Zed. And he was sixth period lunch. That's the period that we had. And when we were done, I was like, my brother, he's got sixth period lunch too. And I was like, hey, bro, can you pick me up from here? And he's like, nah, man, I'm not at school anymore. I'm like, what do you mean you're not at school anymore? And he's like, I'm not at school anymore. And then I was like, where were you last period? And he's like, well, I had a forensics final, and so I left. And I'm like, boy, you doing some sneaker up in here. He was doing some of that sneaky stuff, that bull. You know what I mean? That cuh. I'm not going to say that word because I'm not allowed to say that word, but you know what I mean. Plus, it's a family channel, so yeah. And I'm like, what you doing at IKEA? You buying some furniture, my man? Because, like, IKEA is, like, a couple minutes away from my school. And he's like, nah, I'm eating some Swedish meatballs. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, eat that Swedish meatballs. He's like, well, I'm watching some cartoons. Because at our IKEA, they have some cartoons playing while you can eat those Swedish meatballs. I was like, oh, okay. So I had this option. I could either wait for a whole nother finals period, which would have been 6. But because I have lunch 6, I would have just sat there in the lunchroom waiting for a bus. And I'm like, I ain't doing this. So I get my boy Zed, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying his name. And I'm like, so we have 2 options. We can either wait 90 minutes, wait another 15 minutes on that, and then wait like another 25 minutes as we get driven home. I don't know why my waves are all like crazy. And he was like, I'll be darned if I gotta wait that long. And I'm like, I'm with you, my man, I'm with you. And so we were walking, and what happens is we're about to walk out this long hallway, and he looks like he's gonna turn for that lunchroom, but I walk straight forward, and he like swerves, and we walk. I thought it was 7 miles, because last time I walked it was 7 miles, but last time when I walked it took like 2 hours and 30 minutes. This time we actually got all the way home in under in like 90. No, not 90, like 101 minute. So that's not bad at all, considering we walked like 6 whole miles. Like, I would show you where we walked, but then that would reveal both my school and my house, and I wouldn't want to do that. But anyways, it was a pretty fun walk, and halfway through, I told my friend, like, I didn't really want to walk, but you walked, so I was like, oh, poker face. He's got a good poker face. I'm trying to poker face him, and he's over there actually walking, so I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna go all the way. He's gonna go all the way. And then he's like, really? Because I thought the same thing. I thought you weren't gonna walk, and then you walk all the way over, and so I'm like, holy cow. You didn't think I was doing it, but you did it because I did it, and I didn't think you were doing it, and I did it because you did it. So we were caught up in our lies. And when I got home, my brother, he was still at IKEA. I honestly don't think it was IKEA. I think he was doing something else that he didn't want to tell me, so he made up a lie. But anyways, when I got home, I forget my keys all the time, because my dad's like, because I was late that day, so I was like, Dad, I need my keys. Do you know where my keys are? I always forget my keys. And he was like, don't worry, your brother's just gonna drive you home. But my brother ditched me, and so I had no other options but to wait outside. Well, I could have gone to my friend's house. I think he told me, if you ever need to, just like hit me up or something. Not Zed. I think Zed did tell me that. Oh well. And I waited outside, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's too cold. My phone died on the walk home, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna die out here. And then I see the shed, and I'm like, I've done this before when I've walked outside and I walk in the shed, and my dad's like, boy, there's mold in there. But then I remember looking something up on, like, when we were in chemistry about mold, and basically mold isn't really really that bad for you. It's just that if mold gets into your lungs, you can have a what's that called? When you puff up like a marshmallow, a not chemical reaction, allergic reaction. Basically, like you bust up into hives and you can die because the spores of the mold will go into your lungs and you can die. And so I'm like, well, if I die, I'm pretty sure my brother will find me. And so I tried to turn on my phone, and apparently it turned on and had like 10% battery, and I don't know what was up with that. So I called my brother. I'm like, hey, come over here. And so he was at Pizza Hut buying me a pizza to make up for the fact that he left me at North to die. Oh my god, I just said the name of my school. Oh well. And yeah, and so then he drove over, he picked me up, we went to Great Pizza, and I'm all good. So yeah, that was what happened to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been Story Time with Davo. Until then, I'll see y'all later. Peace.